continues.
And those suspects today appearing here in front of a judge in the Twin Falls County courtroom will have what happened in the court as well as what happened within the community.
And a string of violent crimes has the Idaho Falls Police Department stepping up patrols in one neighborhood. We will tell you about a meeting planned for next week to address the growing concerns.
Now, Local News 8 at 6.
Tonight, 3 suspects are behind bars after a statewide manhunt. Skylar Mead, his alleged accomplice, Nicholas Umpenauer, and now Tonya Huber is the 3rd arrest. Tonight, the case is making headlines all across the nation. Many people are asking the question, why? Local News 8's Linda Larson is in Twin Falls tonight after the suspects were arraigned there this morning. Linda, what is new with this case?
Todd, what we're finding out is that those suspects went on a rampage through the Twin Falls area as well as into northern Idaho. They were arraigned here today at the Twin Falls County courtroom. What we know now is that a 3rd suspect, Tonya Huber, is also joining Skylar Mead and his alleged accomplice, Nicholas Umpenauer, behind bars. Skylar Mead is charged with escape of a prisoner and violation of parole. Nicholas Umpenauer is facing 2 charges of aggravated battery against law enforcement and 1 charge of aiding and abetting an escape. The judge set bond for Mead and Umpenauer at $2 million each. Tonya Huber had a warrant out for her arrest, plus she's facing new charges of possession of fentanyl and eluding. The 3rd suspect, Tonya Huber, will have her preliminary hearing here in Twin Falls on April 4th. In the arraignment, she asked the judge if she could be able to have work release. She was also thinking that she wanted to stay home and continue in work with her job as a healthcare worker. And she also wanted to help take care of her 2 grandchildren. Of course, the judge said no to that request and set her bond at $500,000. The neighborhood where the police were looking for the suspects was just yards away from the Twin Falls County Fairgrounds in Filer. And that is where law enforcement set up to get ready for the takedown. Fair employees telling us that it wasn't until after the incident that they found out just how bad the situation was.
They basically called us. We didn't know anything was going on, and they called us and wanted to stage some of their vehicles and some of the buildings, and we still at that point didn't know what was going on. There was just a whole lot of law enforcement pulled into the fairgrounds in over about an hour period, and so we got some buildings opened up and they staged their equipment, and as far as and then a couple hours later they had the guys captured and everybody pulled out by mid-afternoon.
Because I don't think we realized the threat until then, because that was kind of after the fact of they got caught. There's been 2 homicides, and I know one of our crew that was out there by herself for a while that was like, oh, that would have been nice to know ahead of time, because she's like, well, what if they were on the fairgrounds? And because I heard that was a close call. They were here, left the fairgrounds, kind of drove in and out, and then the police chase was on.
And Todd, the community in the Filer area saying that they watch out for each other. A very close-knit community, and while they're shaken, they said that they will still continue to for each other. We talked to a lot of them, and they did not want to appear on camera. Some of them being afraid of the Aryan Nights and that there could be any repercussions there, and then some of them just saying that they wanted to stay close with their community at this time. Now, we're also learning that Mead and Umpenauer have been transferred back to Ada County, where they will face those charges. Both the Ada County Sheriff's Office and Twin Falls County Sheriff's Office helped in transferring those prisoners back to Ada County. Reporting live from Twin Falls County, I'm Linda Larson.
All right, Linda, thanks for bringing us up to date there. Now, at this point, the Idaho State Police has released the identity of the victims. They believe the 2 suspects drove north out of the Boise area to Latah County and encountered James Money. The 83-year-old is from Julietta, Idaho. Also, March 20th, ISP began investigating the murder of 72-year-old Gerald Don Henderson. Detectives believe Henderson may have been acquainted with the suspects. Now we go to this map. After leaving the Treasure Valley, the suspects drove north. Investigators say Monty and his dogs were taken and driven east from Julietta in his silver 2019 Chrysler Pacifica. Monty's body was later found March 20th in a desolate area near Leland. The original getaway car, the one they left in out of the Boise area, the Honda Civic, was also found. Gerald Don Henderson was found at his home in a secluded area outside of Orofino. Monty's dogs and a pair of shackles were located at Henderson's home. Look at this video. This shows the escaped inmate Skylar Mead when he was arrested by Twin Falls police. We move to the second photo here. It shows a stolen van owned by one of the murder victims that the suspects allegedly used to drive back to Twin Falls. And finally, you see here the picture of the ISP trooper car that ended up in a ditch during the high-speed chase. This new video right here shows law enforcement, including SWAT, Twin Falls County, Idaho State Police, even the FBI, just to name a few, followed a lead to a home in Filer. We do not know the connection, but the 200 block of North Street was blocked for a while. It is near the Twin Falls County Fairgrounds. Now to how all of this started. Let's go back to Tuesday night. Skylar Mead was taken to St. Alphonsus Hospital in Boise for what is called a self-injury behavior. Then Wednesday, very early in the morning, 2:15 in the morning, Idaho Department of Correction officers were getting ready to take Mead back to the prison in Kuna. That's when a shooter, allegedly Nicholas Umpenauer, fired on the officers in the ambulance bay, injuring two of them and driving off with Mead. A third officer was shot by a responding Boise police officer. Everyone is expected to be okay. Then, Idaho State Police put out the blue alert. You may have received that on your phone Wednesday morning. It had a description of Skylar Mead, Nicholas Umpenauer, and the getaway car, the Honda Civic. Both of the suspects are connected to the Aryan Knights gang and had overlapping stays at the Idaho Maximum Security Prison. At this point, it is unclear if this incident is a gang-backed event. The focus now is investigating how Mead was able to coordinate the escape from a high-security prison. Governor Brad Little released this response to the case on social media, writing, quote, "Law enforcement officers deserve our gratitude for apprehending the two extremely dangerous men yesterday. We send our support and prayers to the brave corrections officers who were ambushed and shot. Please pray for the victims of this atrocity," end quote. For all of our coverage of this story, go to localnews8.com or download our app. You can take it with you. Local News 8 is your source for breaking news and complete local coverage. Other news, a woman is recovering and a man is facing charges tonight. The Madison County Sheriff's Office used specialized off-road vehicles to get to a woman who had been allegedly attacked by a man in a cabin in the Green Canyon area. The Madison County Sheriff's Office says deputies found the woman and this man, Nicholas Nelson. Nelson was arrested and is facing charges of felony domestic violence, felony intimidating a witness, felony attempted strangulation, and felony unlawful possession of a gun by a convicted felon. The woman was taken to a hospital for treatment. Idaho Falls Police is addressing crime in the numbered streets. The neighborhood has seen an uptick in violence. One of the intersections you see in this map in green has had 3 shootings in 6 months. It includes the killing of Eric Leisk earlier this month. Local News 8's Sam Gelfand has been leading our coverage of this incident. He was first on scene at the shooting and the eventual standoff with police. He joins us now live from the numbered streets with more on IFPD's response. Sam.
Todd, residents here are, in a word, concerned. So the IFPD is hosting a meeting on Tuesday in order to hear and address those concerns. I spoke with residents and police today to learn what they want to see changed.
We don't go out for walks at night anymore or anything like that.
A guy was getting followed in a truck, and on 4th Street he got shot.
There was a ton of ambulances and fire trucks coming, and that night there was a stabbing, I believe, at the park.
It honestly does kind of make me want to move somewhere safer, because like when we bought this house, we were like, oh, this is going to be a safe place to live. But when all this happens, you're like, we have kids. It doesn't feel safe for you. So I don't let my son outside or don't let him play in the front yard at all.
In my own experiences as a patrol officer is I would drive through that neighborhood on a daily, sometimes several times a shift. But in particular, we haven't had crimes of that magnitude happen in rapid succession either. So that's been something out of the ordinary.
So it sounds like in recent weeks you've been pretty busy.
Yeah, we've been really busy.
I know it's hard to answer, but why? Why this place? I know crime knows no bounds, but this one intersection or this one neighborhood seems to kind of be a magnet for trouble.
You know, that's hard to say. It's hard to answer those questions when people ask why. But regardless of the reason why, what we know is that it has happened.
Speaking to witnesses, residents, things of that nature, have any of them expressed to you any kind of, well, here we go again sort of feeling?
And we've received some reports and whatnot that there's some concern in the neighborhood, and that's why we're trying to conduct this meeting with the members of the community in that area.
It would be nice if maybe we had some officers patrolling and stuff like that.
Maybe just more of a police presence here, especially in the evenings.
It would help me feel safer just to have them be on watch 24/7, just around the neighborhood, circling them.
Without community involvement, the likelihood of crime getting solved goes way down. We have to rely on the community. The community gets to rely on us at times to help them.
The meeting will be held on Tuesday at Emerson High School at 6 o'clock p.m. Reporting live in Idaho Falls, Sam Gelfand, Local News 8.
Thanks a lot, Sam.